Sup, you fools? Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. Welcome to another Mattitude Eurovision live stream where we're gonna talk Eurovision, of course, and answer your
Yeah.
questions. And we're here on a Friday. I know y'all like, what? But with all the shows are happening right now, it kind of had to happen here. I don't want to interfere. Ukraine is super early, and then it's just going to be national final after national final. There's just no way we can squeeze that in. So here we are. Thank you for everyone that is showing up as we discuss the news. I see already a bunch of people are in the chat, but first I gotta um, welcome my buddy Roy here. Talking about Eurovision. Are you ready for the long weekend? Another super Saturday?
Oh, I'm always excited about these shows, and this weekend there are actually a lot of songs that get chosen, and that is even more exciting to me. Really
Yes.
excited.
I know. It's going to be a lot of work. The next
Yeah.
couple of weeks for all of us, it's going to be exhausting, but it's a good kind of exhausting. We love it. But, I'm also looking forward to the post-national final season where we can really delve
Mm.
into the songs. And I see a bunch of people in the chat. As said, Florian Preda is there. Hello. And there is Megan 0304 and Lily Loves is back. Hello everybody. And yes, everyone is getting ready for the German national final. Unser Star. See, I can't speak German anymore. Unser
Nice. Yeah.
Star. Unser
Unser
Star
Star.
für Israel. So my German sucks these days, but that's going to be on later today in just a little over an hour. So we're gonna try to keep this on topic on time, so you're not gonna miss a second of the beautiful show. But we still want to talk about a few things, and before we're going to go into the details, I just want to make one quick announcement, just trying to get it out of the way. And it's not something I'm excited about sharing, but I need to let everyone know that, so over the past few weeks in particular, it is getting more and more difficult to appeal and please the broadcasters, the labels. They come into your YouTube channel, even though everything that I do and most channels are doing are covered under the Fair Usage Act. They don't care. They just strike down your videos, and you get, penalized, and potentially your channel will be shut down. And I just received another one from Croatia, and I'm at a point where I'm like, I can no longer fight this because they're the big labels, and even though I'm in the right, I would have to make a plea to them, and then if they don't agree, then I would have to counter, and that could potentially end up in a lawsuit and all of that stuff, and I don't want to go for that. I'm doing this for fun. So ultimately I have to make a very unfortunate decision, and the decision is that I will no longer be able to do actual reaction videos where I watch a clip and react to it live, because that's how they strike you down, even if it's just for 15 seconds. The ones I used was 10-second snippets and totally covered under fair use, but the Croatian broadcaster decided, nope, I'm going to strike you down anyway. I will probably win this battle because, I'm in the right, but having to go for this all the time, and sometimes you get several at the same time, and then they could potentially shut down your live streaming. You have the ability to upload videos. It is very, very ridiculous, some people are saying. So at this point, I'm doing this for fun. I trying to make a part-time living off of that, and if this keeps happening, I just can no longer do it. And it's unfortunate. I'm very sad. I enjoyed doing them, and I know people enjoy them as well. But it's either not doing them or potentially have my channel be shut down, and I don't want that, obviously. So I will continue to do the live streams. I will continue to comment on them, but instead of playing my reaction video, we'll just review and comment on them and keep any potential copyright issues away from it. All we're probably going to use is pictures, stills and all of that stuff. And I know a lot of people are probably very disappointed, and some people don't care that, but I can no longer do that, and that is very, very unfortunate. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I saw some people in the chat saying, why isn't the Norwegian video up? Why isn't the Portugal second semi-final up? I can no longer do them because I don't want to get any further strikes and have to go for this. So I just wanted to be honest. So I just want to get that out of the way. We're still going to be here for Eurovision, so don't you worry. So let me switch back and bring in back Roy. So let's talk about the fun
Yeah,
stuff. Let's talk about the fun stuff because
let's
who wants
go.
to? Yes. And everyone, you know the drill. Try to stay on topic with the questions. If you stay on topic, your questions will probably be answered, hopefully. And at the very end, if we have time, we'll do a general Q&A. But let's talk this through. The first topic I want to talk about is, first up, Sweden, Melodifestivalen, semi-final 4. We have 7 more songs to go. 2 will go straight to the finals, and then 2 more to
Yes.
Andra Chanson, and the second chance round. And Roy, I think well, I instructed you, and you follow instructions well, to listen to the snippets and
Yes.
the clips of these songs. What was your overall impression of this semi?
Um, Honestly, I was left a bit disappointed. I was really, really looking forward to what Pagan Fury would bring,
Mm-hmm.
because it's something totally different and something totally not Swedish. But somehow they made it into a Swedish-sounding song, and
Mm-hmm.
a little bit disappointed with that. But there were some good surprises as well, luckily.
Yeah, it's very interesting
Um,
because I didn't know them, the Pagan
mhm,
Fury, before. So I listened, oh, this is different for Melodifestivalen because it
yeah.
appears that they wouldn't let a song in unless it's Melodifestivalen friendly, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean. So I think they had
Hmm.
to make some kind of compromise. Because I did feel that was probably a little different. It's not completely that sound. I kind of took that away from it, but that would be my guess here. That that was they kind
Hmm.
of had to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's understandable. Melodifestivalen is a good recipe for the broadcaster, and the songs just usually sound the same, and this time again as well, I guess. But
Yeah,
yeah, there were some good surprises too.
I thought so too. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think I was not the biggest fan of John Lundvik, and I know a lot of people love
Last
that
year
song.
or this year, you
No,
mean?
last year.
Okay.
I know a lot of people love that song. I just thought that he was a great singer and all, but he just deserved a better song and could just do with something better. And I think we just received that.
Ooh, I love
I.
to talk about that. And I agree with you actually
Mhm.
about this. I mean, he made the song last year. It's usually not, it's a
Mhm.
very heavy ballad, right? But he sang the blank out of it. And
Yeah.
that made it appealing. But the song itself was also just okay for me. So
Hmm.
let's talk this through without. So let's talk about a song. Let's talk about our favorites first. So if it
Hmm.
were up to you, which 2 songs would go straight to the finals? What is your first one?
My first one is John Lundvik.
It's John Lundvik.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. It's "We're Too Late for Love." It's just a good song, and overall, I think the Swedish people would just really vote for it, and it just goes straight through to the final.
Yeah.
And the second
Well,
song, I
yeah,
was
let me go first. The
debating.
next, we're going to take turns. So
Okay,
my
okay.
first one, not that it's going to be that surprise. I will also think that John. Let me see here. Personal taste, it's a little tougher. I will put Pageant Fury through there. I have no
Hmm.
expectations. Like you, I didn't
Yeah.
know the original style, so I was very pleasantly surprised by the song. Yes, some people could call it maybe predictable, established corporate metal or hard rock, but for Melodifestivalen, actually, it's quite different. And I just saw this still. I was like, but the staging. I haven't seen the rehearsals clip yet. Only the studio snippets.
Mm.
And I thought this could look really, really well if they do the staging right and could just absolutely stand out. I find the chorus very catchy and very melodic, and
Mhm.
this will help to stand out. But they're still going to grab some of the more, people that more gravitate towards the hard rock metal sound. They fill a specific niche, and
Yeah.
it works for me. Absolutely, I
Yeah.
love it. It needs to go through. It's different. Go ahead. What's your second one?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I was really torn between two songs. I was really just debating if I would put Lisa Ajax through or Pagan Fury.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the end I did go with Lisa Ajax because she is a regular to Melfest, so people are familiar with her, and it is a totally different sound from Pagan Fury. So I'm not sure if the Swedish people will respond to it. I hope
Mm-hmm.
they will, and it's probably a good contender to go through anyways, either directly or through Anders Janssen. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
agree
I
actually
put
that yeah. Lisa's song for me is probably my favorite that she has sent yet. I wasn't a big fan of her
Me too.
I Don't Give a, and what was the other one? I forgot even. I was like, this is so middle of the road pop music that just really didn't stand out. So this one actually it has a very good melody and it's very
Yeah.
powerful. I was also torn for me with the second place that I would put through. I will go actually with John Lundvik. I was
Mm.
very surprised when I heard that song because usually what they do when they bring an act back from the prior year, they're kind of trying to recreate a similar song. They did that with Victoria. They did that with almost everyone, but he went a different route. He went a
Yeah.
different route. It's like a mid-tempo song with actually a really nice beat, and he's a good singer. He's very charismatic and likable. So I'm pretty sure my heart's on me dead. Someone saying about Lisa Ajax. That was the one,
Yeah.
and I think that this would probably one of the more outstanding entries. Actually, it's very likable, and it just feels like something that will work well on stage. So with that, I am with you. So those are my two uh, favorites that I pick: Pageant Fury and John Lundvik. And
Yeah.
who are your second chance candidates? Just give me
Well,
both.
I think, yeah, okay. I think there's just a clear top three to me in this semi. So
Mm-hmm.
I put Lisa Ajax. Oh no, I put Lisa Ajax in the straight qualified. No, I have Pagan Fury as my first second chance candidate.
Which one? I'm
Like I
sorry.
said,
Say one more time.
Pagan Fury.
Oh, Pink Fury.
The
Okay.
Yeah, I just think that it's good enough to go through to second chance or to the final, but maybe it is a good thing that they'll go through the second chance round because it is a sound that maybe the Swedish people will have to get used to.
A grower
And
more than anything.
yeah, I think it may be a bit of a grower, and um, yeah, I think it is the right path to take for them. Even though I'd love to see them in the final, of course,
Yeah.
because I always like myself some rock.
Yeah. I'm the
Um,
same way. Go ahead.
and the final song that I have in Anders Jansen is now. Let me see. Arfingarna, if I pronounce that correctly,
With I
with
do.
I Do. Yeah.
Ah,
Listen,
interesting.
when I heard it at first, I did not care for this at all. And then I saw the live snippet and I thought, okay, there's some life in this song. Um, they were dancing to it, and it was actually kind of like the sound that people would vote for as well. And like last year, when the Rolands just surprisingly went through to the final immediately, I kind
Mm-hmm.
of have the same vibes with this, but to the final is a bit too exaggerated to me. But
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a shot to go to Anders Jansen.
So since I put definitely Lisa Ajax in Anderson. So I mean, she has to go at least for the second chance round. I think it's a good song. Even though those who follow me and know my taste, I love me some good ballads, but maybe I'm just balladed out a little, and this is a bias on my part right now. But I just, I want something more upbeat right now. So, and that's just the mood I'm in. But her song, definitely her best effort yet, and she
Yeah,
absolutely deserves. If she doesn't go directly through, I would not be upset. Second chance, if not, that's an injustice because she deserves this time to qualify.
yeah.
And guess what? I agree with you. That's why I was like, really? Because I,
Nice.
Avignana, I do. It reminded me, yeah. My first one was the Rolands as well, and there are often songs that go through that seem a little bit outdated, but very Swedish. It reminds me, it has like this mix, almost like a little bit like the good old ABBA days, of
Mm,
course, it's Swedish and they sing in English, but I get like the
mhm.
melodic progression there was similar, the style, and it reminded me a little bit from like what the 2000 several years ago they had a singer called the Moniker. Oh my God, and that kind of music just really works in Melodifestivalen, and I have a soft spot for it because it's a little
Mhm.
different. Clearly not a winner, but
Yeah.
I find it insanely charming and just different from the rest of the pack. And
Mhm.
I definitely would love to see that one at least in second chance. And I could see that one then actually qualifying. This could be definitely be a grower as well. Now, before we talk about the other songs, everyone in the chat, now is your time to ask Melodifestivalen or Sweden related questions. Make sure you
Mm.
use at ESC United so that I can see your questions and it's not just general chit chat.
No,
So we
even though it's
basically
good chit chat.
it's good chit chat. We want you to chit
Yeah.
chat, but for us to catch it because we know we're distracted. So we basically agree, Roy. We didn't discuss this up front before the
No,
live stream on the four, even
more
though
or
we have
less.
like
No.
but so
Yeah.
that means we agree on the three non-qualifiers. Anton Hagman, he is the one that kicked out Lorraine a couple of years ago. So
Surprisingly
and
as
now we
well.
don't even think he's going to make it through to the next
No.
round, huh?
No, his song is just bland to me. It just doesn't do anything for me, and I kind of wished it was better because I did think that his song a couple of years back was somewhat decent.
Mm-hmm.
Like it had a melody and it had a bit of a Shawn Mendes vibe. And I think what I've listened to right now, didn't really grab me at all. And
Yeah.
yeah, maybe the entire song will change that, but I don't think he has a big shot to qualify.
I don't think so either. I appreciate though one thing I will appreciate that he sings in Swedish. I didn't think that he's
Yeah.
the kind of singer that go with the Swedish song, so applause for that. That being said, the song itself just kind of moves along. It doesn't make any waves, and and with the new voting system they have in place where they kind of break it out by age groups, he
Hmm.
may get a good amount of points with the younger voters, but I don't think he's going to make an impact in any other demographic there. Eurovision Online is asking, do you think Liamo and Hannah Firm have the best chance of winning Melfest? I think it could win Eurovision 2019 jury vote and finish top five. Eurovision Online, this is a tough one for me to answer. I don't necessarily feel as strongly about the song.
No.
It's pleasant to my ears, but
Hmm.
pleasant isn't good enough. Like, it was the weakest semifinal in my opinion, semifinal two, and this was the strongest song
Yeah.
out of the weakest semi. I will agree with that. But it doesn't leave an impact on me. I understand that this is currently the betting odds favorite. I,
Hmm.
I don't. You see, it's very difficult for me to say it's going to do well at Eurovision since I'm not connecting to it. Um, it's very hard for me. I can only. I don't know. I'm not as crazy about it. How about you, Roy?
No, me neither. I think the moment in the song, like the very passionate "Don't Let Me Down" that they sing to each other, that is a great moment. But as a whole, it takes like 1.5 minutes to even get to something interesting in the song.
Yes.
And like I said, the moment itself is really good, but the song in total just kind of lacks a bit for me.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's that clear cut of a favorite. Well, it is a favorite, but to me, it's not the favorite necessarily.
I think it's going to be a little closer this year than in previous
Hmm.
years.
Yeah.
That's one more question. Don't you think that Melfest this year is very weak and a little bit boring? No immediate song contenders. Honestly, I thought last year was weaker. I like more
Yeah.
songs this year. Um, I feel as they went a little bit back to basics, in that sense, like more Swedish sounding Schlager music, a lot of it. Um, but maybe that's why I found more pearls in this one. Last year, my favorite was Shuffla. And that's a. Do you get that?
Oh, me
Shuffla
too.
was my favorite. I think yeah, yours too. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
well,
like
that was a great song
it
though,
was a
but
great song, and
it's a
that's
jokey song.
yeah, but it worked.
Yeah.
It had a great hook. It was fun to watch, and I was annoyed. So last year I was more disappointed. This year I'm a little bit more excited about certain songs. How about you, Roy?
Yeah, I agree. Compared to last year, I think this year is a lot better in overall package.
Yeah.
There is not such a clear cut favorite as there was last year. I think that once we saw all the songs, we kind of knew that Benjamin Ingrosso had probably the biggest shot to winning. Um, but is it the best Melfest? Also, no. I think 2 years ago was a lot better. I think the year before that was a lot better. Compared to last year, this is definitely a bit better too.
Yes.
But it's a bit in the middle.
It's a little in the middle. So let's wrap this up real quick. We shared our favorites. Now, Roy, who do you think is going to qualify? That is a different story. I'll go first on this
Well, I
one because I always
think.
make you go first. Let me go this one. I believe, and I'm sure maybe some jaws will drop, but I was right last week, when Lena
Mhm.
Hedlund went through. So I like to do some bold predictions. I think John Lundvik will go through directly, and I have this inkling, and it's going to be Avingana. I just
Okay.
have a feeling that people, especially older generation, they will respond to it. And with the way they get a
Yeah.
little bit more weight now, it could squeeze through. There's always that song that squeezes through that has in that style.
Hmm.
So I may not. I'm very confident it'll be a second chance. unless they have really terrible staging. But
Mm.
that is my guess, and then I'll put Paige and Fury and Lisa Ajax in second chance. My prediction. Go ahead,
Okay.
Roy. Your turn.
Oh, now I kind of feel like I have to do something bold as well. No, I think, yeah, I will do something bold. But the prediction for me, straight through, I think still John Lundving and Lisa Ajax.
Mm-hmm.
I think second chance will be Pagan Fury. And then I'm going to put Ari Vagarna out.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
indifferent to you. And I'm
Okay.
going to put Bishara in. I think he's really young, and a lot of young girls could vote for it. And I know that the voting system changed a bit, but I think that he could grab a few votes here and there. So let's go.
Well,
There we have it.
we'll have our post show tomorrow after Melodifestivalen,
Mm.
and then either I'm gonna laugh at you for being wrong, or you laugh at me. So we have to wait and see how that's going to pan out. But these are our predictions, and everyone, let us know what you think.
Hmm.
But we got to move on. We got to move on. So much more to talk about. We have so many shows. Let's talk about Norway. I know that Norway is not until the following week, so we want to get through this real quick. I cannot do a reaction video for the reasons I mentioned earlier. So let's talk through these songs real quick. We don't have to go through them one by one, but I want to at least kind of talk about the favorites that we have and who would be the best representative overall. I watched the show, and I watched the show. I listened to all the songs. I've seen the show already.
Whoa,
There was a secret
spoilers.
show, and you haven't seen it. I listened to the songs, and I was satisfied. I wasn't thrilled with the overall lineup. There were a lot of middle of the road pop. There were a lot of like these safe ballads that I don't necessarily think would really do much at Eurovision. But that being said, there were a few, especially one standout song to me, but two that I would feel really good about making them going them to Eurovision. So,
Okay.
what about you, Roy?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I think it's going to be a two-horse race with one underdog. And that's basically summing up the entire national final to me. A
Interesting.
few of them
Do you
really leave
know?
me cold,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Did you I because I stayed intentionally away from any kind of opinions and betting odds. So
Hmm.
I don't know anything about it. I assume you've seen some of it, like the
Uh,
overall.
oh, I haven't checked Norway. No,
No,
no.
okay, so then that's fine. Then at least we
Yeah.
both are kind of running into this unknown, unknown. Like
Hmm.
we're not influenced by anyone else. So
No.
let's. I'm gonna start with one song that I really like and I think deserves a lot of credit. And it's actually funny because I'm contradicting myself because it is a ballad, but I feel as it's
Hmm.
a little bit more of a fragile ballad that has a little bit more of a memorability to it that makes it stand out, and that is Moreland and Livred Man. First of all, I
Hmm.
was surprised that he sang something in Norwegian. It's the only Norwegian song in the running. That alone is a big plus for me because I do appreciate some language. But I just felt it has a certain vulnerability to it, and he sings it beautifully. This has to be a really pretty staging there with the proper lighting, but it's very simple at the same time. The emotions need to come across. But
Yeah.
it touched me, it worked for me, and if it has to be a ballad, it's got to be Moreland. That is my opinion. Share a song that you like, Roy.
Yeah, I agree with that one already because
Oh,
I love the Nordic Scandinavian
me
languages,
too.
just the North European languages anyway. And I love when they sing balance in those languages. And so I absolutely love Unlevered Man as well. But the other one, I've seen a bit of the hype behind this. It's
Okay.
kind of with Spirit in the Sky.
Oh,
A lot of
really?
people
I
seem
can't.
to talk
Yeah.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's cool. I think it's unique. I also think it's a bit overhyped, but I do still think that it has a really good shot at winning because it's just something that Norway would go for. Um, it I don't know. I just have the feeling that Norway will really go for a sound like this, and it does leave me a little bit cold. I think it's a bit lacking of emotions that we do have with Merland.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think it has a shot to do well.
Too well. Okay, so I'm very happy to hear that because I didn't know. Because as I said, I intentionally stay away from like any predictions, any
Okay.
popularity. Some people threw names at me, but I didn't remember them.
Mhm.
Spirit in the Sky, objectively and subjectively, has to win. It has to win. It has to
Okay.
win. It has to win Norway. Any Norwegian people in the chat, you have to vote for this. Even if you don't like it. This and here's why. It is the most memorable song out of the bunch, and it will definitely leave an impact at Eurovision for just being different. I find it very interesting because they have like three singers, right? The main female vocalist, the main male vocalist, and the other guy who does it, hey, yeah, da, 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 right? That guy. But I find that so I know. I'm. It's just me.
You
I
should do it.
I should do it totally. I find that so charming, and it works so well how they take turns, and it feels like they hand it off to one another and change the song up, and it has like a traditional sound to it, yet a very pop-friendly sound that would work for the masses. And I expect a fantastic staging there. It needs to be
Mhm.
energetic, right? But this on paper right now is the one to beat. And Norway, you have to select this one. I have nothing else to say. It has to be Spirits in the Sky. You hear me? Okay, I'm done. Go ahead, Roy.
Yeah, I do agree with you. It is really unique, and to foreign ears, they will probably gravitate towards this because it really sounds unique and it really sounds like something that would come from those kind of areas.
Mm-hmm.
So I think people would only just vote for the sound of it, not necessarily for the whole song. So I do think it would be a strong option. Now, I do want to mention The Bubble by Adrian Jurgensen. I
Mm-hmm.
think that it is maybe not necessarily a favorite or anything to win. I don't know. I haven't checked the odds, but I do think that this could really be an underdog's song. I
What
think
is
it's really
it
just
about
what?
the song that makes you? What is it that the song that you think it's an underdog?
Yeah, I think it's just a bit. I think it's just cute, and he just looks like a charismatic guy that can really deliver this on stage. And I think that a lot of young people would go for a song like this. Um, but I do think that it will probably be a two-horse race. Just wanted to give him some shout outs too.
No, I mean, keep in mind also, if I'm reading it correctly, it'll be 100% televote, right? Because
Ah,
according to
okay.
Wikipedia, this is how it works, unless this is outdated. The four acts who received the most votes from the Norwegian public progress to the
Hmm.
silver final. And then in that silver final, the two acts who received the most votes from the Norwegian public again progress to the gold duel, where then the top two will battle it out. And then again, the viewers will vote again. So it seems as there's no mentioning of a jury here. So if it
Okay.
only comes down to the televoters, and if someone is in here in the chat that is from Norway or knows for sure, or if Wikipedia is incorrect, but if it's correct, I think that makes a major difference, right, in our predictions as well.
Hmm.
Because I would think that Spirit in the Sky may not be a jury favorite, and that was
No,
my concern.
no. Yeah, and that makes it a bit more difficult for a song from Merland to do uh, good enough to win
Yeah.
because it's not really a song that the televote would go for naturally. It's more a song that would do well with televote, but the juries would really push it forward.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I still think it has a shot. But it does change things a bit more towards the Kaino perspective.
Yeah. So, anyone who has questions about Norway, now is your chance to ask at ESC United, and we'll see and we'll answer your questions. Now, as I pointed out, Roy, there will be four songs that will move on to the silver final. So,
Mm-hmm.
based on what we're just saying, so we're pretty sure it's going to be Spirit in the Sky. We're pretty good, comfortable with Moreland moving on, right? I think that one is a pretty
Mm-hmm.
clear, at least the top four. So, you do think that the bubble will be in the top four to move on at least to the silver show?
Yeah, I feel quite comfortable with that. Yeah.
Then who do
Yeah.
you think will be the fourth one? Could it be? I
Ooh.
would say it could be Hank von Hell and Fake It.
Mm-hmm.
It is so
Yeah.
WTF, right? You're
Yeah.
just like, what the F is going on here? But that is
Yeah.
sometimes can be enough to capture people's attention and vote, oh yeah, I'm gonna go with that Fake It crazy song, the guy with the weird look. It'll be visually probably
Incredible.
different.
Yeah.
Different. And
It will
that
probably
will
be
work.
a huge show. And
Yes.
I think that, especially when you only have televote, then it actually will have a shot to go to the silver final.
Hmm.
Um, I see someone mentioning Mr. Unicorn in the chat. I also think that could have a shot to go to the silver final. Um, it may be a bit too childish at some points, and I
See,
don't
my
know if
problem
it
is I
will.
have to look it up right now because I don't remember that one. Let me take a look at the. Oh, that one. Yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was
Yeah,
fine.
it was funky.
It was funky, but yeah, but it just didn't stick with me as much as it should
Yeah.
have. And that's
Hmm.
usually a downside. I'm not saying it will apply to everyone, of course. I'm just one human. But it didn't leave a major mark on me. So we have to wait and see how it works with the rest.
Yeah.
So people talk about the unicorn a lot here. I agree with Matt.
Okay.
Kino has to go to MGP. No, I get to, and some people are saying it's not as they don't quite see the mass appeal in it. And I understand that it's not for everyone, but I'm just even if you look at it objectively, put your your personal opinion hat down. It's just the most remarkable song. Melodically, progression wise, it just stands out. And we have so far, again, we only have 12 songs so far, but a lot of mellow, calm songs, a lot of it in the running this year so far. There's some upbeat songs, but for the most part, we have more ballady, slower songs. This is definitely something with a little bit more of a different flair, and it just would be the best choice. That's what I'm saying. It's not just even me because I like the song the best. It is
Mm.
really just what it is.
Yeah.
Um, so Jeffrey is saying, Roy, Norway loves childish songs. Roy, remember last year? Because that's how you write a song.
Oh, shut up. Then don't talk about last year. Just don't
Okay.
talk about it.
And now we all still have PTSD from last year.
Uh,
Um, so these are our opinions. We would love to hear from you. So we both agree that Spirits in the Sky is probably the best choice for Norway, but we're not counting out Moreland completely. But with the
mhm.
televote, who knows? But we got to move on. Time flies, and the German national final is
Ooh.
approaching. Let's talk about. Actually, I'm going to switch it up a little because I see some people screaming it in the chat. Let's talk Lithuania.
Oh, God.
Lithuania. I know, right? Lithuania's
My
the long.
autism can't handle this. This is not what we discussed, Matt. We
I
had a
know. I
different order.
I switched the order up a little because I need to keep you on your toes. Um, but it was a long show. Let me count again: one heat, two heat, three heats, four heat, five heat, four heats, two semifinals, and now a grand final. I mean, it wasn't as bad as in previous years, but we have a lineup of well, it was 8 songs. Is it 8 songs still?
Yeah, it's 8 songs. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because one withdrew, right? Maria
Yeah, but they
Gromka.
replaced it with another one.
That's what it was. Yes, that's what it was.
Hmm.
So, that is what happened. We have 8 songs in the running. What do you think, Roy, about the Lithuania national final? Do we have like a clear, outstanding song? Who should go?
Yes. Well, from the get-go, both songs from Monica Maria were just really good, and for Lithuanian standards, they sounded really polished and really modern. Usually
Mm-hmm.
in Lithuania, I have the feeling that songs are quite dated and they don't really feel as current as you'd like them to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the runaway favorite is probably going to be Monica Maria with Lights On.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's just a really good song. It's well polished. It's not necessarily doing something incredibly unique or incredibly different. So I'm not really sure how well it will do at Eurovision itself. But I do think it has the biggest shot at winning in
In
Lithuania.
Lithuania, and is this your favorite as well?
Um, uh, mm, kind of, but I also kind of have a guilty pleasure for Mazule. I absolutely love it for some reason, and it's totally joking and it's totally bonkers. But I just love that song so much. Um, yeah.
I have to look them up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, them. That was yeah. So I hear you. I I
Mm-hmm.
I actually was. Oh, I'm gonna love this as a guilty pleasure, right? I was
Mm-hmm.
like this, guy, but it didn't quite click with me in the end. They could have done more with it. The staging
Yeah.
was so dull. At Eurovision, I could fix it, but I was waiting. Like, okay, this is gonna be awesome, and then it's just the final spark for me was missing. I didn't know again the that the favorites and all that stuff. I liked Monica's Criminal. And I was like, "Oh,
Right.
that's good." And then, wait, that one she withdrew. And then I listened to that
Mm-hmm.
one. I'm not quite as connecting with Lights On as some of the others, right? Light On to me is good, a solid. We've heard it all before ballad, and that
Yeah.
is my concern. We have so many slow songs in the running as well, so I am a little worried about that if this were to win. Personally,
Yeah.
I that was such a crazy national, like the songs is like, what is this? I remember
Yeah, and
Henry
it's
and
not even
Tommy
over.
Never Apart, those two guys with this real, what is this? What are they doing?
Yeah, and it's not even over because apparently some people claim that Run with the Lions was already released before 1st of September,
No,
and
no,
so
stop
it
talking,
could be.
stop talking. That's my
Okay, okay,
favorite.
I'm okay.
No, no, keep talking. No, are
Go.
you serious?
Some people are saying that, but nothing has been confirmed yet, and it's just rumors, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So if that would win, then it's still not like clear cut if it's really gonna win. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I enjoyed it the most. To me, I know the plagiarism thing, not play, the early release stuff happens quite a bit, and the EU has EU, the EBU has been a little bit more forgiving because the rules changed. They had no major availability prior to the,
mm,
you know, if it's just like sporadically released, like at a concert, a video, something like that, they will look past it. So I don't know how um, big this early release situation is. I hope not. It was my personal favorite. I thought
okay.
it's just the most catchy and the most memorable melody to me, and
Mhm.
I think that's what we need. Now, I feel bad, and I'm going to say to anyone in Lithuania who is like probably mine opinion more than any other year right now is probably very, very biased because I'm a little tired of ballads right now. And which is funny because I'm the opposite. I was like, send me some ballads, but I feel like we're getting so many slow songs right now. I need a little bit more of a yay
Yeah.
moment. So maybe that's just really what it's happening with me right now. That's why I'm gravitating towards the Lion song.
Mhm.
Um, any other song that stood out to you?
Not really, to be honest. But if you say that you want something funky, then maybe Mashula should win.
It
No,
should, yes, but I
but it's
just
kind of interesting that you say that you like Lights On less because it is slower. But I think Criminal to me felt more slow to me
no,
than
that's fair.
Light On.
That is fair. To me, they were
Hmm.
kind of like the same, yeah. But I like Criminal
Yeah.
better than Light On.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Okay.
I would have had the same opinion about Criminal. I just melodically I liked it better. I'm not saying it's because
Hmm.
it's faster. I was more in general terms. That's why I'm
Okay.
referring to
Okay.
Lions. I it was so good to see Jurgis again and Erica Jennings singing the song "Sing," which was such an
Mm.
odd song, which I still had a
Yeah.
soft spot for though. I'm like, I kind of enjoyed for what it is. I understand it's not for
Mhm.
Eurovision, but I loved Jurgis' band in Coulter in 2010 so much. So I just want him back for that reason alone. And so I wouldn't. I didn't dislike that one either. So I have a soft spot for that one as well. I just want to give a shout out to Sing. I understand it's odd, and odd doesn't always work, but Lithuania goes often with odd. So
That's true. Well, then you could also send something like Alan Chico with Your Cure.
yes,
That is really odd.
it would be odd, and that's the thing. Like with Lithuania, they often like it often has like they release the song, and you're just kind of like, whatever,
Mm.
Lithuanian song, and then they do pretty well at Eurovision. People tend to like it.
Yeah.
And it could happen again. Some of them may be growers. So any questions about Lithuania, make sure you post them right now at ESC United in the chat. So just to finalize this, Roy,
Mm.
your favorite is Masulip, you said, right?
Well,
Technically? Or
it's the
Lydon?
one I like the most, but Light On is my favorite.
Well, which one is it? If it's you like the most, that's your favorite then, right? Whatever you
Well,
like the most, isn't that your favorite?
uh, okay, maybe.
Because my favorite is Run with Lions, right? And then
Okay,
followed
yeah.
by Sing, probably. Um,
Mm.
but it doesn't mean that this is what I think is going to happen. I don't know. I think
Yeah,
Monica
okay.
will win with Light On. That just is my feeling here.
Mhm.
Is that
Okay,
fair?
yeah, then Mazula is probably my favorite, and I also think that Monica will win.
Yes. I think so too, which is another ballot. But hey, we still have over like 20 something songs to go, so there will be some
Yeah.
more bops. I saw some people saying they agree with me that they need more bops. And again, I want to be clear. I'm always the one that defends ballads, right? Because I love me some
Hmm.
really powerful, emotional songs that I can connect with. But there comes a time where I just want to dance. So, people are asking about Darude and Sebastian's song UMK this year. It's going to be up next. We're going to talk about this. That's why I'm trying to
Oh
squeeze
God,
through all of this. But let's hold on that one. We'll answer that. So,
another change in order.
yeah. So we're going to get Lithuania tomorrow. We'll go through this. Wait, Erica Jennings, duet partner, is from Incolto. Yes, they're married, actually. I think, right? They're married. Someone's asking.
What?
So they
Oh,
are,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and she actually represented Lithuania in 2001. You got
Mm-mm.
style. Do you remember that song, right? Did you listen to the old days?
No,
You gotta look at Eurovision history. You
I
gotta
know.
take some
I
put some
know.
time aside. There's some
I will
really good
fix it,
ones.
but I'm busy right now, so I
I
will
know all
fix
the Dutch
myself
oldies
next year.
in Amsterdam, Amsterdam. Da, da, I see
Yeah.
a star, a shine. See, I know all the songs, and I wasn't alive. Okay, so let's move on. I'm being silly here right now. So next up, let's go back to the list.
Mm.
Hungary.
Okay.
Adal. Are you ready for Adal? We had
I am
three
so ready
heats,
for adult.
two semi-final, and we now have a final. And after a very upsetting disqualification of my personal favorite, Petrushka, get me out of here. I don't care about Adal, so we're done. No, I'm kidding. We now have a lineup of 8 songs. You're a
Mm.
fan of Adal this year, Roy?
I am always a fan of Adal. Adal is probably my favorite national selection just because it is a bit more ethnical than Melodifestivalen is, even though
Mm-hmm.
Melodifestivalen is a bit more polished. Um, and yeah, I've been really following this selection closely, and so far I've been perfect in predictions, and I hope I'll be still perfect after the final, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We have to wait and see. So, interestingly enough, I have to erase. I'm going to, again, totally be a hypocrite and contradict everything that I just said because I
Mhm,
listened to Adele fairly early and before a lot of songs were chosen. So, my
mhm.
original favorites in Hungary were the ballads. Right? So
You're
I'm like,
right.
oh, great. It sounds like a hypocrite, but that was before. And so I loved the song that just replaced Petrushka. Like, Petrushka was my favorite, Get Me Out of
Mhm.
Here. And my second favorite was Gergo Ola, who now was added on into the lineup, which
Yeah.
most likely he may not make it to the super final, but who knows. But he's my favorite. It is a ballad, but I love it. It's such a beautiful progression. So I love Joki Papai again. I thought this has just such an emotional, ethnic feel and touch to it that
Yeah.
we don't get to hear. And he sings it with such raw emotions that it touches me. It feels authentic. It feels real. So
Mhm.
I'm absolutely a fan of both of these songs. If they were to go through, I would be on cloud nine. At the same time, a song that grew on me a lot. It was first, I liked it. Now I saw the live performance. I'm like, ooh, I love it. And that is the Middleton's Roses. I love. I said it in my reaction video. Kale Soundos is a chameleon sometimes musically because every
Mhm.
song that he puts forward in Adal is very different. Like My
Yeah.
Baby in 2013, then his winning song Running, and then the other songs that he had, they're always different. And this one is, again, a little bit, I wouldn't say out of his comfort zone, but certainly not what he's sent in the past. And I
Mm.
like the rap part, which is a rare occasion for me. Very rare.
Nice.
So it just,
Netherlands represent.
yes, absolutely. And the rapper, he's a Dutch rapper, right? He
Yeah,
reached
he's
out
Dutch
to,
Iranian.
yeah, he reached out to me and appreciated that
Okay.
I pointed, like, no, you are really good. And I didn't say it to be nice because he has really clear diction. Like, I
Yeah.
understand, and he really is good melodically in that sense. Like, it works with the beat and all of that stuff. I thought he was fantastic.
Mhm.
And the Middletons would really shake things up, I think, at Eurovision. So, as much as I love both Gergo and Joki, they're both amazing, amazing, amazing. I think it has to be the Middletons. That
Yeah.
is my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. The Middletons has been my favorite since the beginning. It's not like I didn't like the others, but just the Middletons is so well produced, and
Mm-hmm.
it is really just a mixture of 3 different genres in one song, and it's just composed really well. And to me, it's just a really great song that just gives rap to Eurovision. We've never really seen a good rapper or just a good rap part even in Eurovision, and I think it is time that we will get one. And I think if we do that, then if Hungary sends them, then it will probably also receive quite a lot of votes because rap is quite in nowadays. And
Do people know?
I
I'm
think
sorry. Do people know the rapper in the Netherlands? Like, do they know him?
I didn't even know he was Dutch either.
Okay,
So
so it's not like you could definitely count on some Dutch support here on votes wise. I was gonna
well,
say.
probably if the Dutch broadcasters say like,
Uh,
oh, the Dutch rapper, maybe then they'll get votes. But yeah, I think it's probably my favorite to win. I also really like Gergo Seker's song,
mm-hmm.
Mada Repulj. I think that one is also really eccentric and really different and really unique. Um, it's also just a bit of a cocktail of every single style that you could think of,
Mm-hmm.
uh, thrown into one pot, mixed it around a little bit, and just made a nice song out of it. Um, and yeah, Yossi Papai is a really big favorite, probably because also he already went to Eurovision, so a lot of people have good memories with him.
That's true. And that's fairly recent. That could still be have an impact, to a
Hmm.
certain extent. And he received so many points from the jury, so he's most likely a super finalist. In case you don't know how it works in the final now in Adal, we have 8 songs in the running, right? And the jury will vote on them, and then the top 4 of the juries will move on to the
Yeah.
super final. And then in the super final, it'll be 100% televote. Like
Yeah.
AWS last year, I think they just squeezed in fourth
Hmm.
place with the juries, and then the televote was like, yeah, and it happened quite a bit before in the past as well. So the most important thing is to impress the juries to get to the final 4, and that
Yeah.
is, I think, is the Middleton's biggest struggle right now, because they didn't even make it to the top 4 in the semifinal. No, I stand corrected. They were in the top 4, but only the
Hmm.
top 3 qualified, right? So it was ultimately the televoters that put Middleton's through. So they've got the work cut out for them to make it to the top
Yeah.
4.
But I would like to add to that you shouldn't really look too much into the notes because usually in the final the judges would go for their top 4, and in the semifinals and in the first shows they really just judge the songs on quality, so that you have 8 songs in the final that have good quality and that one of those 8 would be a good representative for Hungary. So
Yeah.
for example, last year you had that Sule Zold guy with Zold Amayus. He
Mm-hmm.
received 3 10s in the semifinal, and he didn't even make the top 4 in
Good
the
point.
in the
Good valid
final.
point. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is true. That is
so we'll
true.
just have to see.
That's the beauty about Adal, the unknown. Nobody
Hmm.
knows. We think like, oh, we can kind of look at the prior results, but I don't think we can. We have to wait and
No.
see. So anyone has questions about Hungary right now, make sure to post them at ESC United in the chat, while Roy
Yeah.
and I determine who will be the super finalists. Not based on
Yeah.
your taste, but we think what's going to happen.
Hmm.
Do we
Yeah.
both agree that Joki Papai is going to be in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have him at number 1. I think he'll get the most votes from the juries, and yeah.
I feel as the juries just seem to love Acoustic Planet. They've been
Hmm.
very like excited about it. So I have a
Yeah.
feeling they're going to move on as well. I could be wrong. What do you think? That would be my guess.
Yeah. I have them in as well. Actually, also in second place.
Oh, really?
um, yeah, I think a lot of the judges seem to really like it, except for one who was a bit like, oh, yeah, it's really cool, but he wasn't super over the moon like all the others were. But
Mm,
I think it will probably go to the super final as well.
okay. And then who else do you think?
I have as third place Gergo Shaker with Mada Repuj.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you have that one through. I don't think you have.
I do.
You do?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I do. I feel as this one just has the overall package for a lot of people. It just seems like a clear. I don't think it's going to win, but I think it's going
Hmm.
to go through.
Yeah. And then as the final pick, Middleton's with Roses. I
You
have them
think they're
as
going to
4.
squeeze through?
I think they're going to squeeze through just like AWS last year. I think he'll just be in 4th position. And then it's really just up to the Hungarian people who goes through. And I think all those 4 songs will be incredible picks for Eurovision. They're all really unique in its way. I'm rooting the most for Roses, and I do predict that they will win. But that is probably the toughest prediction to make.
I unfortunately, or fortunately, I agree completely with you. That's my pick as well. But that just kind of seems a good thing that we agree on it, because maybe that'll happen. Because I do think the Middletons will squeeze through. I do think it wasn't like
Yeah.
they did badly. It's just like, there were a few songs that did better.
Hmm.
By not by much though. It was they got 40 points in the semifinal, and Boogie Nights got 42. But yeah,
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows? It's going to be nerve wracking. People, Deep is asking your opinion about Joki. We both already said it's a fantastic song, would be a worthy winner.
Yeah, but I
I
would
just said,
say it's a little less than his previous attempt. So maybe a lot of the people in the Eurovision bubble will compare it and be like, the other one was better. But it is
yeah,
still incredible.
yes. Okay, Flavius97 is saying if the Middletons end up in Eurovision, they have to clean up the lyrics because they have some explicit ones in the song.
Mm,
Yeah,
they
I'm trying to
don't.
remember. There were a few, but that is, you can just, I don't give a F or something like that, right?
Yeah, that's literally what they're doing as well. They in the live performance, they're not swearing at all. They just,
Yeah.
um, the Dutch Iranian rapper is just rapping his thing, and then the swear word comes up, and Carly Sanders just jumps in at him and just says something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that was the case. They fixed that already.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so let's see. Do you like Spirit in the Sky by kind of? We already mentioned that Goat Guy earlier when we were talking about Norway. Watch the replay of the video and we'll give you the answer on that. All right, we got to move on. We don't have much time.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about Finland real quick.
Oh god.
Finland, Darude. Darude, as you know, released his third and final entry yesterday. And that means we have the full lineup. 3 songs will battle it out by Darude featuring Sebastian Raymond. And one of them is going to go to Eurovision. It'll be up to the Finnish public as well as the juries. But what we want to focus on right now, for the most part, is Look Away, which is the third song that has been released. So, Roy, you listen to the song. What do you think?
It's like he's telling a story by the names of his songs. The first song is Release Me, so he released his first song. Then he wants to be the Superman of the show. And then everybody just kind of looks away and be like, well, I'm a little bit disappointed. I do still think that Look Away is probably the best out of the 3, but I expected so much more from Darude. And I myself are really just quite disappointed with it. And they all just sound quite similar to each other as well. So
yeah, I can see there was some of them blend in a little bit more. So I definitely see that. Out of all the 3 I listened to, when I listened to Look Away though yesterday, and this is objective, right? I thought this will definitely be the best choice and will have the biggest impact.
Me too.
Keep in mind, and there are good parts to it. It's not a bad song. I know that people think what Darude is capable of and stuff, but I like it in that sense. Like it starts so slow, and after the first minute just keep building and building and building and building, gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're like, oh my god, I get a little bit more excited. They're building it up, and it's just I love the build of the song, and then it kicks in a little bit more. It should have been a little bit more faster, I think, the beat. That would have been even better, but I think this one definitely is melodically the most memorable one. The other melodies just kind of are a little bit on the forgettable side, while this one has a better hook. And I feel as it just as an overall package, Look Away is definitely the one to beat. I just really see that this has the biggest mass appeal, and it's just the most memorable piece. And again, I'm just pleading to the Finnish people, pick this. If you want to have more success at Eurovision, if you want to qualify, I think this is the way to go. Or let me ask you, so you also said out of the 3 that we have, which are Release Me, Superman, and Look Away, subjectively and objectively, do you say Look Away is the best choice?
Yeah, I totally think so. I think I can envision that one on a stage the most, on a Eurovision stage. Like all of them can be just played in a club and on a set from his. But I think Look Away will probably be the best choice for Eurovision.
Yeah. I would. Okay, so he's saying, I don't want to say much since we haven't seen the live performances, Tasha Lou is saying, but I think this format needs to be scrapped for next year. I completely agree. I know they did it with Sarah Alto, and they barely qualified, right? And they're thinking, well, let's try this again. They want to get a name in, but I don't know if it's that effective. And it's that exciting. There was very little interest this year by the fans with the song selection. I know Sarah Alto had the big hype around her, behind her. We don't have that with Darude right now. I just don't know this is really working. And the thing what I didn't like last year is also she had her performances, and then she completely scrapped it anyway and did something else. So it can be very misleading. So I wish they would change the national final format. What do you think?
I'm not sure if they should change it immediately. I was really hoping that they would send a very cool metal band from Finland. Nice, that's Dutch. I mean, there are a lot of cool metal bands in Finland, and I think with such a thing, they could really push forward something unique and something metal or maybe even folk metal. Um, but I think Darude is not really someone you should really pick for this. I feel like all of these three songs are a little bit dated. They kind of belong a few years back. Back then I probably really liked the songs, but
Yeah.
yeah.
EM Frem is saying, I'm happy with the root songs. It stands without being too much and turn people away. A heavy song like Sandstorm would be way too much for ESC. And that is a very valid point, and I agree with it.
Mm,
He shouldn't have sent anything that is close to Sandstorm. It's too
mm,
fast. It's too techno. It wouldn't work there.
yeah.
Plus, then no lyrics anyway, right? You need to have some lyrics. But even if you create a
Mm,
similar song with lyrics, I don't think it would work on the Eurovision. It would work for some, but I think from a TV entertainment perspective and it just wouldn't work. So
yeah.
I understand why they went with something less boop, 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 but a little bit more melodic. Um, it's definitely not. I don't necessarily think that it's tough when you send a DJ to Eurovision who usually does just a the little thing there, and Eurovision is such a different animal. So
Mm,
people compare it always to like what happened last year with Poland, and you cannot help but compare it a little bit with Light Me Up. Not the same style of music, but it's still the kind of setup. So I'm a little worried about that, but
yeah.
I'm still hoping that they're going to send Look Away. This is the ESC United suggestion for Finland.
Yeah. And don't you dare change it.
Exactly. We're right, you're wrong. Unless you agree with that, then you're right as well.
Yeah.
Um, let's wrap this up. We only have a few minutes because we got to talk about Germany. Germany's national final starts in about 20 minutes, so we talk 5 minutes about this and wrap this up. Germany's Unser's lead for Israel is back. We have 7 or 8 songs competing, and seven, yeah, right. And a lots of opinions out there. We just found out about the songs yesterday. They kept them all secret and like hush hush, but we had like a few hours just to listen to them yesterday and today. And Roy, let's talk them through. Let's go through them one by one, since we're gonna have that up right now. Gregor Hagele, Let Me Go.
Yeah.
What do you think about that one?
Cool song. Don't think it will win. Just as quick as that. I think it's cool that it's there, but it doesn't do too much for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me because last year we had mostly guys and like 2 female singers, and like all the guys' songs better, right? The guys just had better songs last year, and this year I feel like there are not as many guys and more girls, and I feel like the girls have better songs this year. So it's very interesting. So I agree with you, Gregor Hegel, and there's nothing bad about the song. It's just a little bit on the generic side, and there are songs out there that are a little bit more remarkable, and he's talented and he's gonna do his thing, but I don't think this would be the right one for Eurovision either. What about Ellie Ryan, Where Your Love?
Yeah, this has appeal, of course. The song starts and you're immediately hooked to it. But I do feel like it leaves me a bit like I want a bit more or something. It's like the start of the song is so cool and so funky, and then the rest of the song that comes after it is kind of really not remarkable at all. It's a bit of a basic beat where she sings to, and then all of a sudden it's back to that beat that was in the beginning again.
Yeah.
I do think it's cool. I do think that it could stand out, but it is not my favorite.
Okay. So to me, it was very interesting as well because I loved the beginning, right? It took me like, boom, a hook. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. And then it continues. It's really good. And then it does that really cool part again. But then during the chorus, it kind of just falls off a little bit for me. It doesn't keep me hooked the entire time. And that is a problem. Like it's just a little roller coaster. It's like, oh my god, yes. And like, oh yeah, now it's good again. So it has a lot of potential. I think this one is on my radar. I like it. I like it. I don't think it's perfect. I think that this will come down to the staging as well. And if she's able to bring the fun factor out in the song, then maybe I'm even more team Allie. So I think this is just difficult to judge without actually seeing it live. I see the appeal. I like it. I just don't think it's perfect. I have a feeling. I haven't looked at the opinions yet. Have you looked at anything? I can feel like this being the fan favorite or something like that.
Yeah, it is. It is the fan favorite. I did look around a little bit for this one because I was quite excited after hearing the songs. I will say that I do think that this will be a really cool live. I think they can really make it into a really cool show. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah. I think it's my second favorite actually, a third. I'm sure. I just
Mm,
think, but again, this has
my third.
potential to become
Oh
my
no, fourth actually.
yeah. It could become my favorite if the staging is right and the
Mm,
vocals. I'm a little worried about the juries how they're going to react to this one,
hmm.
but it's absolutely on my radar. I'm not counting this one out just yet.
No.
Okay, so she's second in the running order, not the most. At least if the Wikipedia is correct, that's not the most desirable one. What about
Hmm.
Makeda, The Day I Love You Most?
Now, I love this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be really straightforward with this. I think this is really emotional and really good ballad, and I think just listening to the studio cut, I think she can deliver this live as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I really hope that they make this something beautiful, something emotional, a bit like they did last year, maybe with Michael Schulte.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, this is my winner. Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
I I feel bad. I'm not gonna repeat what I said earlier. I listened to all the songs last night, and my last night, because I'm like way behind in California, so it was probably all of you morning in the morning here. I forgot about it. I looked at her and then look at the picture again. And like, I should have left notes for the song, but that is a bad sign for me usually if I don't remember
Mhm.
anything about the song. It was a ballad. I think that was just a ballad,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Okay.
that is what I didn't click with me. But
Hmm.
people saying you hate Ali, but love it. No one hates Ali here. First of all, we didn't.
No.
No one said hate it. So we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, so Makita, I don't have as strong of opinion as you do. Finally, we disagree. I'm not disagree, but it's just I
Mm.
didn't quite leave an impact on me.
But that's
So
usually the case with ballads. You really need to gravitate towards it or not. And if you don't gravitate towards it, you're just totally not going to care for it. And
yes,
I guess I'm just gravitating towards it, and you're not.
yep, and that is fair. How about
Mm.
BB Thomas Demons?
Yeah, this literally didn't do anything for me. I think these lyrics are super cringeworthy, and I just really don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the only one that I don't like out of the selection.
Oh, really? I like it,
Mm.
but it's
Okay.
also because it's not my favorite, I think, but it is
Mm.
definitely it's probably my third favorite.
Mm.
I just find it a little. It has a little bit of a musical theater touch and how it changes the pace throughout the song and has a little
Hmm.
intricacies there. But it's a kind of song that again you get or you don't get, similar to the ballad,
Yeah.
and it's not for everyone. And I knew that this is probably going to be could be higher in the jury vote, but pretty low in the televote. So I don't
Mhm.
have any kind of under illusion that this is going to win. But I
Yeah.
do have a soft spot for it. So it's tough to judge these ones. So I was not pleasantly surprised, but I thought it was pleasant.
Okay.
What about Lily Among Clouds? Surprise.
Um, this is probably my second favorite. I'm going very ballady here this
I
year,
know.
but okay. Yeah, I just immediately when she started singing, I loved her voice, and I
Mm-hmm.
think her voice is what makes this really cool. Also, I found that you couldn't really predict where this song was going,
Mm-hmm.
and I really liked that about it.
That's
I think it
exactly how
was
I felt.
really dark and melodic, and I really like that usually. So this did a lot for me.
Yes, I agree with you that it was a slightly less predictable, the
Mm.
arrangement and the progression of the song, which makes it very appealing to me. Oh, we have to hurry here. So I liked it as well. Um, I think it'll be hard for a lot of people to get into this the very first listen.
Yeah, true.
Um, so that is my concern. So it will need a lot of jury support. It needs a lot of jury support. But I think this is a quality entry, actually. I do like her voice. I do like the whole package.
Hmm.
It may not be, whether or not it's going to be the best choice for Eurovision, I'm a little bit on the fence. But I do like it. I do
Yeah,
like it. And the problem is, though, with this, no problem, because televote is only 33% of the vote.
yeah.
Because 33% is from like the expert jury of like professionals, and then 33% is from a national jury from all over Europe, people, and
Hmm.
now 33% of the German public. So the
Yeah.
televote could make a big difference here. Okay, so then the next one is Linus Brun, Our City.
Hmm.
Your thoughts?
Um, I think that this could be the one that they should send maybe.
Really?
It really depends on how he brings this live, but this is current music that would go onto a radio station immediately. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that a lot of people, when I just talk to casual friends about Eurovision, they're like, well, most of the songs sound super dated anyways. Like 5 years ago, they were hip, and now they're not hip
Mm.
anymore. I think if you send this is really something that would work and is quite current.
It is
Now, I
current, yeah.
will have to say that I'm a bit scared how this will be live,
Hmm.
but hey.
I agree with what you said, that it is definitely more current and relevant, but I
Hmm.
find it a little soulless. Like, I didn't feel
Yeah,
it was
I can see that.
overproduced. Maybe I feel like there was not as much personality in the song that made me want to go woo. And it doesn't always
Yeah.
have to be that way, but maybe there was a disconnect with the singer and the song. I don't even know what it is, but the click wasn't there for me.
Hmm.
I'm not saying it's a bad song. I'm just not into it. That is basically
Yeah,
all
I
I
can
can.
just get really carried away when I can just see the EDM being produced really well, and that you have subtle changes in
Yeah,
melodies, and yeah. So maybe it's just something bad.
yeah. Last one is Sisters with the song Sister.
Mm,
I'm going to go first on this one. Actually, interestingly enough, based on my personal taste,
hmm.
it's my favorite. I love
Okay.
me some good harmonies, right? And they do some
Hmm.
harmonies. It sounds pretty. It creates an atmosphere. It's exactly my kind of music. Exactly what I would want to listen to at home. And
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic song and deserves all the credit in the world. Shouldn't go to Eurovision. I have to be so selfless on this one. Don't send that to Eurovision. And
Hmm.
I just know it could be potentially be a huge jury favorite, but it will flop in the televote. I just know
Mm,
it will. I'm probably more of a jury taste here, and I love the song. I love the song, but I just don't think that this is the one to send. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I just don't see this one making a big impact at Eurovision. So I'm trying to be reasonable here. That is my thought,
yeah.
at least. What about you, Roy?
I think if you call yourself Sisters and your song is called Sister, then you're already 1-0 behind. I think that really just kind of puts me away from the song already.
Oh, it's turn
Um,
off for you. Yeah.
yeah, it's a huge turnoff for me, and I think probably a lot of people will have that as well. It's a cool song, but it didn't really do a lot with me. I can see what you say. Jurors will probably go for this because harmonizing is really something judges like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think it will do too well with televote, and I don't think it will win.
Yeah. So let's wrap this up. And guys, everyone in the chat, guys and gals, at ES United, if you have any final questions about Germany, let's do our predictions here. I'll go first on this one. And it's tough because I think it's a
Mm-hmm.
good show. I wouldn't say it's just this one song that really jumps at me. And for again selfish reasons, I would send Sisters. For
Yeah.
selfless reasons, when I think about
Mm-hmm.
what would probably do best at Eurovision, it's "Where You Love" by Ali Ryan. I do think
Okay.
that this just has the most beat, and again, final judgment withholding until the actual show and the staging.
Mm.
But I just feel as the other ones are a little bit more slower and less
Yeah.
impactful. And all as you point out, as you see, we had slightly discrepancies in our taste because by the other ones, it comes down to taste, and they're kind of all
Valid.
over the map. I don't think there is a universally liked song, which is not a thing anyway. But you know what I mean. You want to have at least more of the
Mm-hmm.
mass appeal, and I don't think that the other songs have that. And I think Ali Ryan's songs, out of all of them, would be probably the one that have the most gravitas when it comes to the televote. I'm worried about the juries. Absolutely not gonna lie, but I
Yeah.
do think from that perspective, I think she would be the best choice.
Yeah.
That would be my opinion. What do you think?
I'm not sure if it will be the best choice, but I also do think it has the biggest shot of winning. Just because the juries are only really 33% of the votes, so um, I think it will just stand out a bit more among all these ballots. And like we have, I like one ballot better than the other, and you like the other
Yes.
ballot better than the other. Jesus, what a tongue twister! And then you just have like a middle of the road song, and if everybody likes "Where You Love," then it will probably have a bit more points in the end, and I think it has the best shot.
Yeah. But if it were up to you, it would be Makeda, right? The day
Yes.
I loved you the most. Oh, loved you
Mhm.
most.
Yeah.
So as you see, my favorite sister, your favorite, the day you love you most, and both of us, I think, agree probably where you love is probably the best choice for Eurovision.
Hmm.
That is just going to be very interesting because I have a feeling it's going to be all over the map. Last year, Michael Schulte, he won everyone over, right? All three juries. This time, I don't see it's going to be as in unison. I feel as there's going to be a big difference. We have 1 minute for questions at ESC United, and then we got to jump up because the German show will start in just a few minutes.
Hmm.
Flavius97 is saying Germany just jumped on the 5th place with the betting odds. I
Yeah,
wonder what
I saw
that
that.
caused it. Um, is
I
it
think the overall quality of the selection. I think all these songs are. If you send one of these, they'll probably do quite decent.
Yeah, here's the thing though, because or they're really thinking a specific song is going to win,
Hmm.
and like it happened in Romania, right? When they all thought "Dear Father" is going to win, and they were like
Yeah,
fourth in the betting odds, and then it didn't, and then
and it dropped
Romania
all the way
started to
down.
drop like boop 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 and keeps dropping.
Hmm.
And it could be something that they may be thinking of a specific song. Is it maybe "Where You Love"? I don't know. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's a similar kind of situation. We have to wait and
Yeah.
see. But it's nice to see. I'm hoping Germany is not doing this, one trick pony thing where the last year we did so well, and now we're gonna have to use the same system and then they mess it up now.
Mm.
I'm a little worried that the juries will mess it up on this one. I really am. But as I
Okay.
said, the expert jury is only 33% of the vote,
Hmm.
while the other 33% are like people from all over the continent, from I think,
Hmm.
right? Or was it just Germans? I
No,
think.
it's a jury. Then it was like a group of 100 German Eurovision
German,
fans.
but the juries were from all over the continent. That's what
Yeah.
it was. That's what it was. I remember the graphic. I mixed them
Hmm.
up. That's what it was. And 100 Germans, and then the
The
televote.
public.
Yes, the public. Exactly. Okay. Next question. Smoshy Dutch. Are you hyped for Duncan and his song? That's for you, Roy.
Mhm. I am very hyped. I'm always a big supporter of young and upcoming talent, giving them a shot to put themselves out there. And Duncan is not even known in the Netherlands, so I really hope that he's going to prove a lot of people wrong.
Absolutely.
And
It's a lot of
just
pressure on him.
and just all the messages that people are sending from the team from Afro Trust, they're so hyped about it, and I don't think they've ever been as hyped about a song like for the last 10 years. And
Hmm.
so I think that really says something, and I'm really hyped to see what we're gonna have here.
Yeah. We have to wait and see. That's my
Yeah.
favorite thing to say. So we have only 4 minutes. I want everyone to give it the opportunity to get ready for the Germany show. Keep in mind, make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already, because Roy will be back. I will be back for the German post-show chat. It won't be too long, just a few minutes chit chat about the results and all of that stuff. Robert will join us as well, so make sure to tune in. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. I'm gonna head out right now. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good whatever.
Peace.